Good afternoon and welcome to Central Alabama Electric's 2026 virtual annual meeting. Now, to get your bill credit, your $10 bill credit for tuning in today, you're going to want to go to the website www.mycaec.com/2026 and enter the code FUN. Now, today I have with us our President and CEO, Tom Stackhouse, and our Chairman of the Board, Mark Presnell. And guys, what are we doing here today? What's going on? What is this annual meeting?
Well, it's our 88th annual meeting. It's a very festive time for the co-op members, the employees, and the board as well. It's a time for us to visit and see members that we wouldn't see normally throughout the year, and just gives us a time to spend time together in a relaxed setting that I think creates a bond that we can go forward with.
And Tom, why is that important?
Well, it's really important. A cooperative is about the members. The members own the cooperative, and so annually we have a business meeting. Now, attached to that business meeting, we've traditionally done a lot more. We appreciate our members so much, so we have this opportunity for you to come and just hang out. But we know in today's time there's a lot to do and that not everybody can come, and so we have virtual process. We have mail-in balloting because we know folks can't get here, but we need to still do our business, and so we need to have a quorum, which over 1,000 of our members need to participate, and this year we have 4 times that have participated by mail-in ballot. A lot of you probably did mail-in ballot. We appreciate that very much. But all that is about that it's your cooperative, and we want you to know it's your business. We want to operate it the way you want us to operate it, so we need your participation. And so we have this day annually, and maybe next year, instead of virtually, you can come attend. If not, we are glad you could join us this way. So you have a good time, enjoy watching what we have, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know.
Thanks, guys, and welcome everyone. And if you're just tuning in, to get your $10 bill credit, visit the website www.mycaec.com/2026 and enter the code FUN. And speaking of fun, we're now going to turn it down to Ben to show you guys a little bit of the fun and the action from the floor. Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. Thank you for joining us today here at 17 Springs for our 2026 virtual meeting. I want to show you all a little bit about what's going on in here. Come on. So we've got all kinds of games set up here. The first thing we're going to go to is a game kind of geared around our fiber network. It's real cool, and as you can see, we have a large crowd here already early in the evening. So y'all come on.
One of my guys just let me know he finished.
So over here, what's going on, guys? We're telling everybody about the game here.
All right.
So we've got fiber versus 5G. What's faster? It's always going to be fiber. So I guess the idea here is to
You get the ball, drop it down, and whichever one comes out fast.
Yeah, and it's always going to come out faster on this one, right? Yep. So hey, that's the benefit of Central Access and having fiber as your internet. It's always going to be a little bit faster than 5G. Thank y'all.
No problem.
If you don't know a lot about fiber internet, you can reach out to us here and we can tell you more about it. It's fantastic. We have fantastic service. We started growing it a few years ago, and you're going to hear a little bit more about it with when Jimmy and Chris come on here a little bit later. And we've got some really cool things going on in that area. Next, we're going to take y'all over to our lineman challenge. Y'all come on over here. So as y'all can see, right here, we have our members are putting on some of our linemen. We wear Class 3 gloves here at the co-op, and if you've ever put any on, your dexterity it goes from pretty good to absolutely nothing with these on. And so what we have them doing here is we have them putting those on and trying to put an insulator on a bolt, which is something our linemen have to do every single day. Y'all could just zoom in here to see what's going on. So as y'all can see, it's very difficult. Notice his hand is just wide open. You cannot squeeze your hand with those gloves on. But also here we're highlighting our lineman scholarship. So every year we offer a scholarship to I think we might be up to 2 students, maybe more, maybe 3, 4 students at this point. I'm not sure. But we offer a couple scholarships to people who are wanting to be a lineman. And they can go to lineman school, go to climbing school, and this is also highlighting that here. So really cool thing that we have there. If you're interested in being a lineman, y'all check it out. You can find it on our website. So let's go over here to where our this is our kind of our fun place for our kids. So over here we've got what we're calling the art center, and this is where you can bring your little ones. You can have them color. They're not going to mess anything up. We have the table covered, so you're good to go there. We also have some people monitoring this, so you're good to go. And hey, look, also coming through here, if you would, we've got Bluey, Spider-Man. I wish I had my 3-year-old here. We got Elsa. So hey, look, we got all kinds of stuff going on here at the co-op. Also back here, no need to pan that way. It's just food, but we have some really good burgers going on up here too. So you can always grab you one of those when you're out here also. Y'all come this way. So once you have our kids over here, you know, coloring and whatnot, they get bored doing that. I know my son, he's not a big colorer, but he's huge on throwing things. So over here we have a dartboard where you can throw your tennis balls up. We've got cornhole going on, and we've also got basketball, a basketball game over here. I've tried it. I've learned that my shot is broke. It doesn't work anymore. So if you ever want to play a little 3-on-3, don't ask me. You know what I mean? All right. But that being said, we got something else over here going on. We got some balloon art. Really cool. Super talented. I know that my nieces would love this. We got some face painting going on over here. I think this is Billings High School, right? Yeah. So, yep, absolutely. We appreciate them coming out. They're going to do a real good job for all your kiddos. So now we're going to walk over here. We're not going to get super close because we got some really good music going on. So we're going to try to stay back a little bit. But we've got popcorn. We've got bouncy houses. We have all sorts of activities for your kids to do. We've got ice cream. Now, ice cream, I'm going to just tell you right now, that's not just for your kids, because I'm a grown man. I love me some ice cream, all right? So I'm going to be hitting that later. But over here, we've also got a dance floor. So if you want to, you know, get out here and tear it up, you're more than welcome to. Got DJ Chris Britton out here. He has been doing a great job, fabulous job this evening. And I almost missed it. I'm sorry. We got cotton candy here also. I almost missed that. You can't miss the cotton candy. You can get your photo made over here. We just have so many cool things going on here at the co-op. So once your kids get their face painted, they get all that good stuff, get their ice cream all over them, you can come over here and have them take a picture. If they're anything like my kid, they'll probably be crying, but that's okay because it's free. That's something that we're offering. And so lastly, I want to highlight, you know, because we do have a lot of food here. We have a lot of beverages, of ice cream, all those sorts of things. Something that's really important to us here at the co-op is your health. So over here, to protect, you know, whoever may want to be getting their health checked, we have health screenings going on. And, you know, you can come in here, it's covered up. They'll check all your necessary level, you know, basic things, but something that is critical to know. And so, you know, we're offering that, and we would love to have people come out and check that out. So if y'all could do me a favor, I want y'all to log online, and I want you to type in this code. It is mycaec.com/2026. If you look that up, you'll be able to get a $10 bill credit, okay? So that'd be $10 off of your power bill. All you have to do is visit that website. Again, it's mycaec.com/2026. Once you do that, you have to enter the code FUN, okay? Once you do that, that is when you'll get your bill credit. We just are so appreciative of y'all joining us today. We thank you for joining us on the virtual meeting. We thank all the members for coming out here and joining us today and making this so special. With that, I'm going to pass this over to Jimmy and Chris. Now, Jimmy and Chris will be highlighting some of the things that we talked about earlier with Central Access, and they'll be telling you some really cool things that we've had going on and that will be going on in the future. So passing it over to you, Jimmy and Chris. Thank y'all.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Chris Montgomery with Central Access. I'm Vice President of Central Access. And here we have Jimmy Gray, who's Vice President of Engineering and Operations.
With Central Alabama?
With Central Alabama.
That's right.
Absolutely,
That's right.
absolutely. Well, Jimmy, it's hard to believe, man. This is our 8th annual meeting to talk about Central Access. What's been going on in 8 years?
8 years. That flew by fast, didn't it?
No, well, I thought it was fast. Did you think it was fast?
Well, I don't know. Looking back now, because when we first started, we first started putting fiber up in the air.
Yeah.
It did seem like it was going slow, and all of a sudden now, 8 years later,
You know,
we got the...
The funny thing with that is I can remember the first time that Tom said, we're only installing 3 people. And I was like, Tom, it's got to start somewhere, right?
You got to start, yeah.
And then at some point, we had over 30 installations in one day.
Yeah.
So you got to start with day one and work from there.
You start, but putting all that system in, connected all of our, offices together, our
Yeah.
substations, all our stuff, our electrical stuff, and then all that extra fiber, started hooking up all the members that we passed,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of turned out well.
It's
Some people want it immediately, but when you construct, I think we got 3,000 miles of fiber in the air.
Yeah.
It takes a little time.
It takes time. It takes a lot more than I thought it would. But there again, it's 8 years. So
8 years.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Well, look, it's been a huge project, 8 years of construction. I mean, really, how do you feel? I mean, what's been good? What's been bad? Is there anything you would have done differently?
Well, we tried to go as fast as we could. And some of that, a little challenge, a lot of times when you get a project, you'll go out, design it,
Yeah.
figure out what you need, order the material. Well, at the time, material was so hard to get, we had to just estimate what we were going to get.
Yeah.
So we estimated a bunch of stuff, and then we went out there and put it up in the air, and sometimes we ran out of this, had to go focus on some other things until we got this material. So we went almost as fast as we could with the material shortages back then and all that, because everybody was starting to do this.
Yeah.
And so we went pretty fast there, I thought.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we were moving well. COVID hit, and then that's really when
That's right.
that's when the materials slowed down because everyone needed it.
That's right.
We were trying to push it in other areas as well. So I mean, it did slow down for us at that time, but of course we tried to speed up.
And then we mixed in some grants. We were able to get several grants, 5 or 6 different grants. So, going through those grant processes and getting those, and we're about to wrap all of that up here this year.
Well, good deal. That leads to the next question. So where are we on construction, and when do you anticipate us actually being complete with construction?
Well, we'll never be complete, but our major projects and grants, we should finish the end of this year, we hope.
Yeah.
Finish that up.
Okay.
And then from there, we'll just be, filling in, building out.
Okay. Well, good deal. Good deal. So with that, how many customers do we have? Do you know?
I
know.
don't. How many?
Okay.
How many we
all
got?
right,
How
all
many
right.
got we
I
now?
thought you would ask. 24,674.
Almost
As of-
25,000.
Almost 25,000.
That's pretty
Absolutely.
good.
It is pretty good.
I think we got 45,000 on the electric side, so we
That's
still
right.
got a lot of folks that it goes by that
We do.
could get
We
service.
do. With that, so we're at a 50% take rate, actually a
Mm-hmm.
54% take rate on our power network. If you look at the Alabama Power customers, so we're passing about almost 10,000 Alabama Power customers. We're at a 50% connect rate. So again, doing really well.
Yep.
Ultimately, I think we can hit about 65% take rate. That's our goal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be about 33,000 customers that would be active.
Yeah.
So man, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a good time when that comes.
Next year, next 2 years, we'll be there.
Do you think we'll actually celebrate if we hit that goal?
We might.
We may.
We might.
I don't know.
25's pretty big for for how many customers we got.
Yeah. So we talked about construction and almost construction complete, but are we really ever construction complete?
Because like I said, anything new comes along, new subdivisions come along, we're putting fiber in those as we go, and then slowly just
Yeah.
working our way out.
So when you get a new subdivision, let's say it's 500 passes, 500 new homes. You put let's say it's underground, you put the power on underground. Is it more beneficial to go ahead and put the fiber in at that time?
We do it at the same time,
Same time, drop it.
pretty close to it. So
Okay,
it's down
okay.
close to the power where nobody can really dig into it, hopefully.
That's safer.
You never know. So,
That's safer.
And
And then it's ready when, when the house is built, we got fiber and power ready to go.
Absolutely. I know that's been our goal. So whenever we have new construction, new subdivisions, our plan is the power's ready, and then hopefully that same week you can connect central access as well.
Yes, because the power goes in and then the fiber goes right all the way to the house. We got power and fiber to the house.
Yeah. It does make it easier.
It does.
All right. So we talk about the construction, we talk about fiber. How can we actually make our network, both the electronic network and the fiber network, more reliable?
Well, the fiber side, we're cutting right away, cutting it back. That helps during the storms and whatnot. And then we'll start looking in the future of some high priority lines per se, maybe putting them underground.
Yeah.
But on the network side, what are y'all doing on the network side?
Oh, on the network side, we started with a layer 2 architecture, which meant it was kind of more of a point-to-point, and so you had to have multiple routes for the fiber, but there's only one route in and out. So with that, we've moved to a layer 3 architecture, which provides more redundancy. So each hop or each location potentially could have 3 routes of fiber. So with that, it makes it much more reliable. The only time you truly may lose a customer is if a location gets truly isolated. But it would only be
wherever it cuts, you
That's
don't
right.
have those out, but
That's
the
right.
whole network won't be affected
That's
as
right.
much.
That's
yeah.
right. So as a matter of fact, we finished phase 1 last year, phase 2 this year. We haven't talked about it much yet, but there is a phase 3 which will take care of those last huts. Actually, no, they're cabinets. So it's going to be an easier project to do. Won't take as long, and guess what? It won't be as expensive.
Yeah.
Which I know accounting will like that. School systems. We've taken care of our members. We've taken care of some Alabama Power customers.
And we're taking care of our needs a lot, and we still add to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, what about our school systems? What are we doing with some of our school systems, and who are they?
Well, schools, cell towers, all that. We've started hooking up Elmore County and Chilton County. We now have hooked those schools up, and next year we'll have Watauga and Coosa, I believe. Is that right?
That's right. That's right.
And then, and so we're starting to actually do some cell towers. So these rural towers that don't have connectivity, now they got some fiber connectivity, help your cell phone give you better coverage.
That's right.
In the rural areas. So we've got several of those starting to go in.
That's right.
And hope to expand that so our members can not only have great service at home, but have service anywhere.
That's right.
you know?
In the schools, it often in Chilton County, I know, and Elmore County, if they lost service, they almost had to shut down the school because it was shut down all their networking. So we're fortunate to be able to provide central access to them. Along with a middle mile partner, but again, that's going to be a great service for them. So, with that, look, are there any other co-ops placing fiber across the country?
Oh, there's several, a bunch of them doing the same thing we did, and because it makes sense, and all of them seem to be doing very well and doing about kind of the same things we're doing too in our communities.
So it's a new industry we're having to learn. We're looking forward to learning more and continuing to grow it. So I guess, one last question here that I've got on my mind. I know what I would do, but look, if you had to do this over again, would you do it?
Oh, yes. Provide a huge service, mainly for our system.
Yeah.
Highly secure, moving all that data that we need,
Yeah.
but also providing a needed service in our community.
All right, Jimmy, look, man, it's been great talking about central access, all right? I enjoyed your time.
Same here.
Absolutely. Well, look, the next thing we have to do is we need to talk about understanding demand. With that, so we're going to see Aaron and Ben join us here in just a moment.
Fantastic.
And man, we're looking forward to it. All right, so look, all you guys that are tuning in virtually, you can still get your $10 bill credit by visiting the website www.mycaac.com/2026 and entering the code FUN.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for joining us today at our 2026 virtual meeting. I'm Ben Norris. I'm here with Aaron Ishmael, our VP of Customer and Energy Services. So today we're going to be talking about demand and things of that nature. First, I want to talk about what peak time use is. So we've all heard about saving electricity and those sorts of things. But hearing about peak time use, what exactly is that, Aaron?
So a lot of people are familiar with how much energy they use because that's how much energy we bill for on every single month. But what the other concept that's equally as important that a lot of people don't know about is this concept called peak time use. It's when everybody's using everything at the exact same time. So if you think of what you're used to, how much you use in a month. Peak time use is what we call demand. It's the maximum amount of energy where everybody's using everything all at the exact same time.
Okay. So that helps me out, but what is the difference between energy and demand?
So energy, like I said, it's what we bill on. It's how much power you use, say over a month, over a year. Whereas peak time use or demand is how much is used at any given time. If you think about it like the interstate example, for example, if you have 10,000 cars go through over a work day, 8 to 5 p.m., something like that. But if every single one of those cars tries to use the interstate at the exact same time, at 7 a.m., for example, then you have a traffic jam, a rush hour, and then you have to build the interstate much larger to handle all those cars at the exact same time. That's like our power system. We have to build the power system to be able to handle everybody using power at the exact same time. That's called our demand. It's not where it's spread out. It's everybody using at the same time.
Sure. And that makes sense. I love that analogy. I could think of some places here in Alabama where we could use that on our highway system to maybe lessen some of the congestion in some places. So that makes a lot of sense. But what does that look like at home for me as a member?
That's a good question. So if you imagine on a cold winter morning where it's probably in the teens outside, your heat pump's running as hard as it can. You might have auxiliary heat, like your heat strips on, and everybody's waking up in the morning to get their day started, go to work, go to school. Hot water heaters kick on. People are cooking breakfast. The coffee makers are running. Potentially somebody might run the dryer. Somebody might want a hot towel, might throw that in the dryer, those kind of things. But the thing is, everybody is waking up to do everything at the same time when there's already a large load on the system because it's cold. And if you imagine 40,000 homes doing that at the exact same time on that cold winter morning, that's what's happening. Everybody's using a large amount of electricity on that cold winter morning at the same time, and that's what creates the demand on our system.
Sure. And besides the obvious, Aaron, I mean, all of us using that at the same time, why is that such a big deal?
It's like the interstate example I gave a minute ago. For an interstate, if all those cars hit the interstate at the same time, you just have a traffic jam. Mm-hmm. You can't have a traffic jam on the power system. The power system has to be built large enough to be able to handle those 40,000 homes using everything all at the exact same time. And in order to build the power system large enough for that one or two, maybe 3, 4 cold winter mornings a year, the power system has to be built large enough to handle that, which comes at a cost. Sure. And our members pay for that through their power bills.
Okay. So, I mean, are you asking us to use less electricity? Is that what, or could you explain that?
So we've always said that. We have a tagline, we want our members to use less of what we sell, and that's completely true. We want to be the energy experts and teach everybody how to use less energy at their home. We do want people to use less energy. We want people to buy more efficient appliances, stagger their usage, set their thermostats where they're not using more energy than necessary to keep their home comfortable. But what we're talking about here today is not necessarily using less energy, which is also what we want people to do. What we are also asking is that people be cognizant of those peak times when we are peaking, so that then maybe if their heat pump's already running extremely hard, possibly not run the dryer at the same time, or possibly not run the dryer at the same time that they're cooking breakfast, for example. We're asking to kind of stagger the use during that morning so that everything isn't hitting the system at the exact same time.
Okay. So that makes sense, and you may can help me here, because on my bill each month, I get all these crazy looking charts and things like that. Is that the peak time use? Is that what that is on my bill?
Not currently. Currently on your bill, we just bill on energy, how much energy you've used for the month, plus the access charge for the number of days you've had the service. What we plan to do is not add an additional charge, but what we plan to do is add an item to the bill just so you can see what your peak usage is during our peak, just so that you can see and be cognizant of that to see what your contribution is to our peak. We're not charging for it at this point. It's just added to the bill so you can see. We're also going to add the average members' peak use during that time as well, so that you can see if your home is higher or lower and what kind of changes that you might need to make to help not only you save money on your power bill, but save everybody collectively on power costs.
Yeah, that would be great, because I mean, we love to save money where we can, right?
Of course.
So what are some things as a member that I can be looking for to know when this peak time is? I know you said the cold day, things like that. how can I, as a member, be more aware?
So we are largely residential, and being largely residential, that means everybody's getting up at the same time to go to work, go to school. So our peaks are very predictable. If it's in the teens outside, then that really means those heat pumps and heat strips are going to be on and running. We know when those peaks are coming. We can predict that by looking at the weather patterns and whatnot. So knowing that that's coming, then we are going to send out, just like we did last year, send out a message to our members that say, hey, tomorrow is going to be one of those peak time days, and we're really going to need you to try to reduce.
Sure. So real quick, this is something that I'd like to highlight real quick. Does one family's efforts really make a difference?
It all adds up. One member makes a change, it all adds up.
Okay. Aaron, one last thing. If you had one thing for the members to take away today, what would that be?
It's equally as important to use less energy year round because we want you to have lower power bills, but it's also equally as important to get when we send those peak time use alerts and reduce on those mornings, and that helps save everybody.
Fantastic. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your insight, and we truly appreciate the words that you've given to our members.
Thanks, Ben.
Guys, thank you again for joining us today for our 2026 virtual meeting. Don't forget that there's still time for you to get a $10 bill credit. All you have to do is log in www.mycaec.com/2026. When you get there, enter the code FUN, because that's what we're having today. Thank you for joining us today, and stay tuned for the business meeting, which is starting at 6 p.m. Thank y'all.
was good, Tom. Welcome. Good evening. My name is Mark Presnell, Chairman of your cooperative's Board of Trustees. I would like to introduce Beth Presley. Beth is part of the communications team at CAC and has been with the cooperative 5 years. Beth is going to sing the national anthem. I don't know if that's on or off. Go ahead.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
May be seated. Thank you, Beth. I would like to call this 2026 annual meeting of Central Alabama Electric Cooperative to order. According to Article 3, Section 3.04 of the cooperative bylaws, a quorum of any meeting, the members will be determined by the registration, both mail-in ballots and those attending in person. The first few days after sending out the mail-in ballots, we met and exceeded a quorum of 1,124 members, received a total of 4,112 who registered participation mail-in ballots. The deadline was July the 31st. Once we added the mail-in ballots to the 161 members who registered in person today, we have a total of 4,273 total members participating in this year's meeting. We would like to also welcome those attending virtually. With a quorum, we can now call this meeting to order. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by CAC's Manager of Engineering and Army National Guard Colonel Eric Terry, and tonight's invocation will be given by CAC Manager of Training and Safety, Michael Kelly.
Good evening. If you please stand with me. Ready? Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you pray with me? Our Father, we thank you so much for this time to be together, for this night. Lord, we thank you so much for the freedoms that we have to be in this country, to live here, and to, Lord, to be able to participate in events like this tonight. Lord, I pray you bless this cooperative, bless our employees, and Lord, bless our members. We ask all this in Christ's name. Amen.
Thanks, guys. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Central Alabama Electric Cooperative's 88th annual meeting. As many of you know, our meeting is an important event each year. Not only does it give us an opportunity to visit with friends and neighbors, it is a time for us as member owners to conduct the business of the cooperative. As trustees, we work for you. We too are members of the cooperative. And just as you do, we purchase electricity from our cooperative. It's a great pleasure that I introduce the other 9 trustees who serve with me on your board. Trustees, would you stand and be recognized? We have Mike Lamar, District 1, Mike Lamar, District 1 of Prattville, Justin Barrett, District 3 of Wetumpka, Terry Mitchell, District 4 of Stewartville. Secretary and Treasurer of the Board, Nicole Law, District 5 of Rockford. James Robert Parnell of Lawley, Alabama, District 6. Most recent past Chairman of the Board, Van Smith, District 7, Billingsley. Chase Riddle of Prattville, District 8. Vice Chairman of the Board, Mark Gray of Clanton, District 9. And at-large trustee of the board, Charles Bird of Deatsville. I represent District 2 and live in Wetumpka. I'd like to thank you for the hard work and tireless efforts. I've enjoyed serving with you this past year. I'd like to recognize the spouses of those board members and thank you for putting up with us and co-op business. Thank you. Thanks, guys and lady. Would like to recognize any or all elected officials. If there are any in the room, would you please stand and be recognized? All right. I'd like to also recognize any retired employees in the room. Then also our associated organizations such as Power South and Alabama Rural Electric Association. Do we have anyone here from that? Carl, thank you for being here. Carl's with the CEO of Alabama Rural Electric Association. Thanks, Carl, for being here. Finally, I'd like to recognize the cooperative employees. These are the people that keep your lights on, answer the phones, pay the bills, fix the trucks, install the fiber, keep you informed. That just scratches the surface of the many jobs that needs to take place to operate our cooperative. All working to make the cooperative the best it can be. It's a little different here. Most of the employees that I would like to recognize, there's some in this room now, and I'd like for them to raise their hand or be noticed here. Majority of them are outside tending to breaking this event down, but they do a lot and are very dedicated for us to have the quality service we have and enjoy. Each year the board hires an auditing firm to conduct a financial audit of the cooperative. For the past 18 years, Grunlow, Motts, and Associates of Robertsdale, Alabama, has been the company we have depended on. To give us this year's audit and financial report, I'd like to now call on firm's partner and CPA, Kalina Motts, present this year's report on the audit, give a membership an overview of Central Alabama Electric Cooperative's physical status. Kalina.
Thank you, Chairman. Trustees, employees, members, and guests, it's a pleasure to be here with you this evening and to report on the financial condition of the cooperative. We completed our independent audit of your cooperative earlier this year for the year end December 31 of 2025, and we issued our report as of April the 3rd, 2026. Our report that we issued was actually an unmodified report, which is the highest level we can give of our opinion we can render as an independent CPA firm. I'm happy to report that we found the books and records to be in excellent condition. Your cooperative had assets in a total of $518 million as of December 31 of 2025. And it continues to grow in financial strength. Our firm audits a number of cooperatives in the state, and in our opinion, your cooperative is one of the most progressive. In recent years, we've seen this through the expansion of services through broadband. For the year end, December 31 of 2025, the assets actually increased by $44 million over the prior year. And this is mainly in the area of distribution plant and the build out of that fiber infrastructure, which actually increased by $36 million in 2025. The cooperative's equity to asset ratio, which is a measure of financial strength, continues to be steady at 27%, which is actually slightly down from the prior year of 23%. The existing long-term debt was paid down by $10 million, and there was a new CFC loan in the amount of $45 million. for current and future electric infrastructure. Electric revenues increased by 7% over the prior year, while the cost of power increased by 3%. Overall, your operating expenses for the cooperative, excluding the subsidiary and excluding depreciation and the cost of power, increased by 5% from the prior year. The reason for this increase has to do with your inventory cost as well as inflation and overhead expenditures. Net margins for the year were $9.3 million compared to the prior year of $8.2 million. Also, capital credits were refunded in the amount of $1.5 million in both the 25-year and the 2024 year. The cooperative's accounting systems and procedures were well designed and comprehensive, providing timely and accurate financial information for the Board of Trustees and management who have the oversight of your cooperative and the finances of the cooperative. The cooperative is in compliance with all of its procedures, contracts, and agreements, and the board continues to manage your cooperative in a manner that results in continued financial stability and growth while positioning your cooperative for the financial challenges of the future. Thank you for allowing my firm to the opportunity to serve your cooperative. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Kalina. This time I'd like to introduce the President and CEO of your cooperative, Tom Stackhouse, for a few brief comments. Tom, brief is underlined, double underlined there.
Problem is that me staying on script, but I want to thank you very much, Chairman. I appreciate your leadership, your friendship, your mentorship that you've done over the years, and for this board. I've been doing this for over 4 decades, and I've worked for a lot of boards. And right now, I got one of the finest boards around. I'll brag on them anywhere. They're very committed to taking care of your dollars and what we do for you, and they really take care of the employees who take care of you. And we'll talk about that just a little bit. But I do appreciate y'all very much. Thank you for being here. The time it takes to be on a board like this is incredible. And most of these folks have jobs or other things that they do, and to be able to take that time is huge. Sometimes we find it hard to find other folks when we have to make replacements because people realize how much commitment it takes to do it. And I just like to recognize that while we're talking about that. I appreciate this room right now. I want you to know that we don't, a lot of times when we do this, we do not have a lot of folks. And for y'all to take a few more minutes to take part in the business part of this event, which is for us as a cooperative, it's one of the most important things we do each year. We are a member-owned cooperative. The reason we do mail balloting is to give more folks opportunity. 4 decades ago, we would go to a meeting. I was responsible for, let me go deeper. My first year employee, they said, all right, Tom, you got to do the annual meeting this year. And I'm going, the what? The annual meeting. And I had to talk to a lot of good friends that I was working with, explain to me what I had to do to prepare. And for several years, I was completely responsible. Now it's so great. I just walk in and y'all look at what they've done. And these employees did an incredible job to put together an event for you. A lot of cooperatives struggle with being able to do events and getting members to come. But 40 years ago, it was easy to get people to come. They would come, and the business meeting was full. Now, I mean, it's just people's time is taking them everywhere. But I take that as a compliment that, the fact is your cooperative is doing well. It is serving you well. These employees make sure that you are taken care of. And when we do mess up, and we do, we own it, and we make sure we take care of that. Because, again, it's yours. We were just talking earlier. We're a not-for-profit organization. Eventually, if you're on here long enough, you get back margins that were created when you bought power from us. And that's returned to you. So I don't have a bunch of folks who, now don't get me wrong, capitalism to me is very important. But for cooperatives to serve rural areas, it was hard to do that 80 years ago when these cooperatives started doing businesses. And we had to get together and create businesses to serve the rural areas. I say we, I wasn't here. Some think I was. I wasn't quite here when the first one started. But I was halfway through this industry's life. I have been doing this. But I'm just saying it is important. And I want you to know we think it's important. That's why we have a party like this, is so we can celebrate the fact that we do serve our members and member owners. That was way off my script. I have recognized the employees again. One of the challenges that we did have tomorrow is a gun show, and we were asked, and they haven't done this a lot, but they're trying to flip shows real quick. So as we're pulling out, they're pulling in their displays and their work. They told us they wouldn't bring any guns in while we were still here, but they are out there as we're pulling out. They're pulling in to do that. What do y'all think of this facility? Y'all like this? All right. Since the great storm that we had a few years ago and tore the tent down, and it was pretty tough. You know, we've committed to, we're going to find somewhere to go inside. And we did find a good community college in Clanton to go to, but they're now going to use that space for classrooms. So as this became a reality, we're just excited. So right now I know we're penciled in for next year, but and I think the only thing we got to do, we got to have more folks, registering folks when you walk in for that big rush there at the beginning of the day. But I'm so far off script, I don't even know where to go. I just want to tell you, I'm excited to have y'all sitting in here in this room and assure you, we're here to do business. And if you have concerns and need to talk, you got direct line to me if that's what you need. But if you really need somebody to help, there's people standing back there that can get onto the issue and take care of it very quickly. But we do thank y'all being here tonight. I do want to recognize my family. My whole family's not here. Two of my children are, right now, both of them are on planes going different places for work. We'll get to see one of them late tonight, but she couldn't get a flight to get here in time for this. But I do have Becca, our middle child, and our grandchild, Silas, back there with her. And there's Amy sitting in front of her. Our children, when we came here, they were little. And all they've ever known is annual meetings. They've been to annual meetings. They used to even help do a lot of things. Our youngest would love to get out there and clean up. She was all involved in that. So, but now they're adults, so we don't get together a lot, but we are getting together to celebrate Silas's first birthday in a couple of weeks. And they've had to put up with a lot. This job does demand a lot of responsibility, but you find you get in this business, you love what you do. I had somebody tell me, and no, I'm not getting close to retiring. They said, Tom, find something you love to do before you retire. I said, there's the problem. I love what I do. You know, so we're still here. It's my 43rd annual meeting. 29 of them has been for this cooperative. And it has been a blessing to be a part of this. I remember my first annual meetings, I was always nervous. I'm still nervous when these things start. Even right before I had to stand up here, and he tells me what'd you say, double line? I've gone past my note, I know I have. So I got to finish, but it has been a blessing to be a part of this cooperative and this community. And y'all, this show out it just speaks highly of where we're at and what we're doing. So thank y'all for being here. It is great to be your local cooperative and have you with us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. It's hard to tell he's very passionate about his job. Chris Simmons has been Central Alabama Electric Cooperative General Counsel since January of 2020. His firm, Rustin, Stakely, Johnson, and Garrett, has represented the cooperative for 88 years. Chris is well respected throughout Alabama with a vast knowledge and experience in business, especially in the cooperative utility business. Chris, we appreciate the expertise you bring to the cooperative. Please come and conduct the business portion of our meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. At this time, we will consider the adoption of last year's minutes from the annual meeting. In accordance with Section 3.06 of the bylaws, the board approved the minutes from last August 8th's meeting at its September 23rd regular board meeting. These minutes have been available to members, and if necessary and requested, the members could have requested the item placed on the agenda to consider any changes to those minutes. No such request has been made, and pursuant to the bylaws, the minutes as written stand as approved by the board. Next, we turn to the results from the nominations committee. Pursuant to the due notice thereof, the Committee on Nominations held their meeting at the cooperative headquarters in Prattville, Alabama, beginning at 10 a.m. on April 10th. The cooperative members who served on the committee were Robert Arnold, Roy Campbell, Darrell Carson, Wilburn Falkman, Roger Campbell, Lowell Strock, Jack Wadsworth, Frank Yarnell, Debbie Jones, and Mary Goodson as alternate. Thank them for their service, please. In that meeting, Frank Yarnell was elected as chairman and Robert Arnold was elected as secretary. The nominations that they decided upon were posted at the offices since May 8th and were a part of the official notice transmitted. The nominating committee reported the following nominations. For District 1, Mike Lamar. For District 4, Terry Mitchell. For District 6, James Robert Parnell. Each individual so nominated were nominated for a 3-year term. Section 4.05 of Article 4 of the bylaws also allows members to nominate individual members by petition. There were no petitions filed. So those persons nominated to serve for a 3-year term are, for District 1, Mike Lamar. For District 4, Terry Mitchell. For District 6, James Robert Parnell. Votes were cast by the membership for each nominee as follows. Mr. Lamar received 3,835 votes. Mr. Mitchell received 3,681 votes. And Mr. Parnell received 3,672 votes, approving and electing them. I do hereby certify that the number of votes cast for each of the 3 trustees are sufficient for election as Board of Trustee members, and they're duly elected to serve for a 3-year term. Also, the members were presented with bylaw amendments for approval in connection with the official notice, and we also received ballots for those. The votes for the bylaw amendments were 3,227 votes approving the amendments, 446 votes against the amendments. Pursuant to the bylaws and the applicable statutes, the approving votes have authorized the amendments, so the amendments have been approved by the members. And now, having completed the business portion, I will turn it back to Chairman Presnell, for the meeting.
Thank you for coming to this year's annual meeting. I'd like to now turn the meeting over to Jimmy Gray, the Cooperative's Vice President of Engineering and Operations, to oversee the awarding of the final grand prize. Once this is done, this year's meeting will be concluded. Thanks for being here.
All right, for the final $500 prize, I was told it's already been shaken, so all I gotta do is pull one out. Is that all right? You gonna get it? All right, this year's winner is, that's the wrong side, ain't it? Oh, that's some, I ain't got my glasses, I need my glasses. I'm good. Wagner, Beverly Rachel Wagner, at Dillon's Run in Deatsville. Is a Wagner here? If not, we'll get it to him, and this concludes this year's annual meeting. Thank y'all for coming, and look forward to seeing y'all next year.